So I just got this today. This is the Polisport Halo LED headlight. I am going to use this to replace the Polisport MMX headlight I have on my 2019 450FX. That headlight takes 35 watts and it runs my battery down. So this headlight has high and low. Low is about 7.3 watts, I think, and high beam is 14.7 watts. All right, I'm gonna open this thing up. I've not ridden at night yet. I wouldn't do that with the MMX, obviously, because it runs my battery down. But with this, if I don't have any problems like that, then that means I can ride at night and be confident that I'm not going to have a problem with my battery being run down. I've seen it, online. This year, 450FX doesn't have enough wattage output from the stator to power that light and charge the battery. So it will power the light, but the battery will drain, and what happens is if you don't turn the light off and let the battery actually charge up a little bit before you shut off the bike, you shut off the bike and then you go to start it, it doesn't do anything. It doesn't even click. It happened to me out in the desert by myself. I stopped to look at my map out in the desert and went to start the bike, and it absolutely did nothing. Kind of a little bit of a harrowing experience. So I definitely want to replace that MMX headlight with one that won't cause that issue. So this thing looks pretty nice. Should have enough room here for the harness that's already there. I've seen some videos about other lights being installed, so all this stuff is exactly what I would expect to have. I'll have to change the pins on the connector. I don't know what this little thing does. It's kind of weird, but yeah. Okay, so it's got 4 wires. So I've got the instructions here. Now we will install it and see how it goes. All right, I got it wired up and on the bike. Just sitting here just to test it out. And so right here is where it all connects together, and the rest of my harness from the previous owner who installed the Tusk tail light and turn signal kit, which is fun. It all works. So you can cut these wires and use whatever type of crimped on connectors you want to. I went ahead and went with what they sent. These wires, everything except the red wire, was connected to the MMX. The red wire is all the time power, and it's connecting up the position beam, which is your daytime running light. The passing beam is the white wire, that's your low beam, and then the blue wire is on here it says driving beam, the blue wire is your high beam, and the black wire is the ground. So I don't know what this thing right here is. I ohmed it out. It basically ohms straight through, red to red, green to green, yellow to yellow, black to black. And they're isolated from each other, so it doesn't do anything. So I didn't try it without it, because this will connect directly up to here, I believe. I didn't actually try, but it looks like it will. I didn't want to bypass this because I don't know what it's for. I don't want to damage my light, so I've got it hooked up for now anyway. Maybe I'll see something online about that and understand it better and know if I can remove it or not. So anyway, here's how it works. That is your daytime running light, always on. These 4 lights at the top, and then the low beam, and then the high beam. And that's a pretty bright light, so pretty happy with that. And on maxes out at about 15 watts, supposedly. So we'll see how it works. Well, I'm going to continue with the install. Okay, I've got the light back on my bench. This is the MMX light I took off. You can see the wires are there where I just cut them, because I don't need those connectors, so just leave it like that. I still have the turn signals over here. I don't know if they will attach to the Halo LED like they do conveniently here on the MMX. We'll see. Maybe I can attach them to these brackets, which is what I'm installing right now. There's come with 2 different sizes, so I'm installing the short ones first to see if that works. I hope they do. If they don't, then I'll have this option. These rubber things go through here, and I've not really tried pushing them in other than just, this easy fit check, because I've already seen online that they are very difficult to install. Alright, so I've had my Polisport Halo LED light on here now for over a week. I've done a lot of street riding with it, and I've done quite a bit of off-roading with it, and it's hanging tight, and I like it. It's working well. So how I ended up doing my turn signals was down here where that bracket connects to the faceplate of this light. Instead of using the screw and nut that came with it, I took a 10mm bit and drilled the hole a little bit bigger, and then just used my turn signals and the nut that holds my turn signals on as the bottom screw for that bracket. That's the black bracket here. So this is the top screw, and another screw like that would go down here, but instead I used the turn signal for it. So that's how I did the turn signal. They aren't straight out, they droop just a tad, and that's just because of the angle of the light here, I guess. But that doesn't bother me at all. I think it works out really well. Now, one thing to also mention, I saw 1 or 2 videos where somebody had a problem with the brake line coming up, and then when it would go back down, it would catch the light right here. And of course that's a problem. So I tie wrapped mine right here to my wraparound handguard. And another thing to note is that your brake line will need to go down the left side behind the light here. So all of your wiring and everything kind of needs to be on the right side above the light. So you need to kind of put it all right in here, and you need to have room for your brake line to be able to go up and down as your forks compress when you hit bumps and whoops and things, jumps and whatnot. And also, it's really important that your brake line routes kind of clear of anything that might damage it as it travels through here. And another thing, if you're installing this light on a 2019 450FX, you have to remove this guide here that's normally installed for your brake line. I had to completely remove that because the brake line needs to be over that way too far to be inside of that guide. I hope this helps somebody installing the Polisport Halo LED light.